welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a look at DiagROM. I've got a few A1200s which they need looking at. They don't boot for various reasons. Some of them display rubbish screens. Basically they need repairing, I think, but I don't know what's wrong with them, and that's where these little babies come in handy. So let's crack open some cases, get them installed. Okay, I've got two A1200s and I'm going to be checking with the DiagROM. So this is the first one. Let's switch it on and see what happens. I honestly don't remember which is which from earlier testing, so we've got a power light and we've got an insert disc screen. Now from memory, one machine basically booted up to a black screen, or didn't boot. It had a power light but no output. Another one booted up to a screen, but that didn't last long. It just dissolved into corruption, so I don't trust either of these machines, frankly. Let's see what happens if I put a disc in. Okay, I've just put in Alien Breed Special Edition. It's a bit noisy, this drive, but we do have a display. See if it gets any further than the Team 17 logo. Oh, now that doesn't look right to me. I'm pretty sure this disc is fine. It's my first thought about this. One does wonder exactly what might be going on under the hood. Oh, it's a heck of a noise. The fantastic transfer speed of the floppy drive, people.
Insert disc 2.
Right, that wasn't me. Okay, so we've got audio output, we've got screen output, but there was corruption there, so I'm going to investigate that. So these are the Kickstart ROMs. I think they're 3.0. So let's pop those out and get the DiagROMs in. So we've got the standard ROMs here and the DiagROMs over here. They are numbered, these ones, so you've got 1044 and 1043 here, and then we've got low and high here, so I've got to work out which way round these need to go. So I don't want to put them in the wrong way round and blow them. Right, well, from the manufacturer's website where I bought it from, we've got high at the bottom and low at the top. So let's do that. Okay, the DiagROMs are in. Let's close this case and see what happens when we switch her on. Right, let's get her switched on. Whoa, 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 whoa! So we've got some power light flickering. These colours flashing and testing the various custom chips, making sure they work okay. There we go. Now I'm just going to set this camera up on a tripod and we'll go through some of these settings. So here we are in the DiagROM screen. Simple menu system. See what info we get. 680 EC20, no FPU, no MMU. Well, there's nothing worrying there. Start buttons and keys, etc. at boot, nothing. Right, switch the Speakers on. It's all 4 channels. Good stuff. It says any button to exit. It's not any button. Those work. Don't think chipmem's the fastest thing to be read. Seems to be taking too long. Not sure what should have come from that. Let's do some CIA tests. Right. So, level 7 will fail unless you press the custom IQ7 button, so it's supposed to fail. The CIAs. Now CIAs handle some input-output, so they're quite important. So I guess we're done. CIAs are fine. That's good. Oops. Graphics tests. Well, that display's alright, doesn't it? That seems fine. Okay, any flashing you see is probably as a result of the interpolation of the monitor rather than anything dodgy going on. It is having to expand a 320 by 256 screen. It might even be 240 actually, because it might be just defaulting to NTSC, but you do end up with weird lines where some are stretched and some are not because of just how it's interpolated. Not too sure about this keyboard, but then the case isn't down properly, so well, that's a nice raster, isn't it? Flicker is normal. I'm not actually getting a flicker, so does that mean something's wrong? Right, all the graphics tests were fine, which is interesting. Does that mean something was wrong with that Alien Breed disc rather than anything? Okay, I don't have a disc in there. Let's dig one out that I don't mind being written and read to. Is anything supposed to happen here? Right, I'm not getting anything here, so I'm unsure exactly what's happening. I'm going to switch off and switch back on again. Let's go back in. we're in. I wonder if some of these keys are getting stuck. Let's skip the drive test for now. Okay, I don't have a joystick plugged in, so that's not going to work, but it looks like that's fine. But I don't have anything in serial or parallel, so there's not really much point plugging anything in, is there? Or testing it, should I say. I'm not going to press escape, but let's go through F1, F2, F3, F4, F5. You can kind of see the example character that's supposed to come up with each press. But then it won't show something like a tab or a delete or a help. And there is a slight delay. It's usually when keys coming up that it actually registers. That was return. That's caps lock. It's interesting, I press shift, left shift, and get a T. And then an R for right shift. Right, all keys register. Huzzah. Although, come out of it, and it's reset. Escape seems to change between different screen resolutions. I can't. Oh, mouse is working to go up and down, but the keys have stopped working. So, not really sure what's happened there. Could be a bug. I'm going to reboot and we'll go into the other tests. Flash, flash, flash. Right, well that's a real-time clock test. There's no battery in this machine, or so that you know there's no way that's going to be right. And no expansion boards, so we don't get anything from those. Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong. So this machine seems fine, which is surprising. It could be a case that when I was getting errors before, it was the A500 power supply I was using, which has subsequently gone bang. So we'll just chalk this up to serendipity that everything's fine. I'm going to unplug this one now. This one I still want to get it sent off for recapping, so I'll note that down, and we'll get another one plugged in. Let's get the next one plugged in. Okay, power on. Right, the floppy disk light is just stuck on. Power light's on. But we just get a black screen. Yeah, this one could be fun. I think what I'll do with this one is crack it open, and we'll make sure that floppy drive is actually plugged in properly, because there could be a loose connection or something. And we'll just make sure that it's not something worse. Okay, quite a long focal length here because I don't really want to swap lenses. everything's plugged in correctly. I've checked the drive cables and the power cable, and that's all fine. It could just be that the floppy drive is dead, so I think I'm just going to unplug it. That may result in a bit of a delay on boot, but if we can see whether or not it boots, because that could be the issue. I won't put the DiagROMs in just yet. We'll just stick with the standard Commodore ones that are in there. And once I see another screen, then I'll put them in. Right, let's power on again. I've unplugged the power for the floppy disk, so it may wait for a while. I'm still getting a floppy disk light coming on. Yeah, let's switch this off and get a DiagROM in there. Now, interestingly enough, I've just opened it up and the ROMs weren't in the place I expected them to be. They were one pin further across than they should have been, so I'll switch it back on and let's see what happens. Floppy drive's on again, still getting a black screen. It's not good, is it? Let's try a no startup sequence. I did plug the floppy drive back in as well, so it may still be going wrong from that. No, it's not happy, is it? DiagROMs. Right, DiagROMs are in this one now. Floppy drive still in. Let's give it a go. Power light flickering. Here we go with the tests. Now there's an interesting pattern, don't know if you can see it, that this one's giving that the other one's not. See what we get then. So everything's reading there fine. Switch the speakers off, didn't I? Filter, audio filter, it switches the power light, it dims it. Filter on. So kind of different levels of sound. Audio works then, okay. All IRQs are fine. CIAs, here we go. So there we go. They're all fine as well. Oops. Just did those. Graphics tests. And the picture's fine. I'm not getting a test screen though. That's curious, isn't it? That's something to note down. Switch off. Back to the graphics tests. getting some scrolling, which is nice. Again, there's some interesting patterning that I wasn't getting with the other machine. It's creating some odd moire and other patterns. I kind of get the impression that what this is heading towards is an issue with the actual output rather than the like output ports and devices that you know service those, rather than the chips themselves. It's still interesting that the test screen didn't display, isn't it? Should we try it again? Worked that time. This machine isn't right, is it? We can try the... I'm not getting any mouse there, but sometimes that mouse only reads once I've rebooted. No. Another thing to note down. So sounds or graphics. Well, we knew that would be that, didn't we? Don't really want to do a drive test. That's right, there is nothing on IDE. Do get some interesting bounce from these keyboards when they're, the case is slightly open. Oh, jumped out memory test there. Now, should we do memory test here? Let's try it and see if anything happens with this one. Just going to leave that going. Right, the standard memory test just sat there doing nothing like it did on the previous machine, so I got into the extended one. So this is gradually incrementing through the various addresses of chip RAM. And while it does, it's doing a kind of a pulse of the power LED. I hope that's normal. Okay, so the extended memory check's finished. It checks from this address to this address. As you can see, it's got here. If it went one over, it will go to the 200,000. But no issues in there from what I can see. Number of errors 0. Good block start at the start and end just before then with a size of 2047 kilobytes, so 2 megabytes. I'm happy with that. So, not really sure what's wrong with this machine, other than the floppy drive being completely knackered. Either way, I've got to send them off, so let's stop there. So there we have it. 2 machines checked, 2 that seem to be showing okay, surprisingly. I think it's probably something a bit more subtle in terms of this machine in particular. Like I said, I think it might just be the floppy drive, maybe even the connectors through to the LEDs for all I know. Either way, it's not booting correctly. I think it's probably something to do with the display equipment at the back, the ports, maybe the capacitors have gone wrong. I am sending these machines off for recap because I do have 4 A1200s and I don't need all of them, so I'm going to recap them, then move them on. So I want them to be working. I don't want to sell duff equipment to people. So that's it. Say thank you to John Hurtle for his amazing work on the DiagROMs. You know, we actually got a screen up from this machine due to those. Before that, we didn't have anything. We just had black screen and nothingness. So he brought light to my world, albeit briefly.
So thank you, Chucky. I'll put some links to where I bought them from because they're incredibly handy. I got them from someone called Sorden on eBay. They've got their own website, www.sorden.ie, but you can also get them in eBay too. They come very quickly, they come from Ireland, and they work. So thank you to them as well. Thanks for watching.